I'm going to cut into my Felicity Jane kit. And this is my October kit. It's the Mila kit. And so basically, I love to save the tissue paper for actual gifts. That's what I do. And the ribbon as well. So it's such a nice little treat because what I do is I either buy craft color gift bags or black and white ones. And then I always have a stash of tissue paper and ribbon. And then the cardboard box, even though it's so pretty and it brings me so much joy at the time of delivery, it gets recycled. Because then that means that my craft room is nice and neat, right? And that's the truth. That's the truth of what I have to do. And it's little things that, you know, make our scrapbooking easier. And so basically what I have is an iris container, the kinds that you can buy at Michael's. They don't sell the inserts for them anymore. I actually have the Michael's cart that fits these. I'm gonna see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 6 drawers. Right, 6 drawers. And the bottom drawer, as you can see on my cart, is where I put my tissue paper and my ribbon. And I try to keep it as neat as I can because then it doesn't look yucky when you give it as a gift. Right? So there you go. And it goes on that trolley, and the trolley is on wheels and I really like it. I got it with 40% off, I think. So I don't think it was that expensive. I think it was about $37, but I love it. It actually has like a tray feature on the top, so if I roll it out, it's an extra work surface. Because my craft room, I mean, compared to so many people who craft in their dining room and stuff like that, I'm not going to complain. So basically what I have in here is my leftovers from the Heidi kit. And I do see that the yellow does go very well with the new collection. I can't speak today. I'm sorry. I have to get in the zone, people, in the zone. So these are my photos, and I've just kept an old packaging and all of my black and white photos that are current photos that I've printed off. Those are the ones that I have in here that I can keep reaching for, as opposed to my vacation photos. And then I've got my stamp sets from previous. I've got these. I was going to keep them to have, like, to use maybe the scalloped border and that. That's why I haven't thrown those away. And of course my little girl stamps. And then what I have is a piece of vellum. I was going to make some pockets with this vellum piece. And then I've got the black and white neutral Felicity Jane paper pad in here. And another piece of vellum as well. And this is just a recollections piece of vellum. So basically I kept this in here because I had run out of paper with my other Felicity Jane kit. And I just thought, you know, I can always gravitate to, you know, neutral black and white, which is phenomenal. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep all the stuff. Yes, I need you to be able to see what I'm doing. I know it's a bit of an awkward angle for right now, but such is life. And I'm going to keep her hello card as well. And I'm going to open up these cards too. This is Sunday. I haven't even had a chance to play. You know how I told you I was going to play after work? Oh my god, those are so cute. So cute. And I'm going to throw away the packaging for that. I'm going to keep my extra one still in the packaging, just like I have an extra Felicity Jane die cut. I'm only going to open up one at a time. There's a little lonely guy back there. And then again, I'm going to keep that because I do believe I'm going to cut those out and use the borders on that too. So now the tray does fit in here comfortably so that when I'm transitioning between both my hip kit and my Felicity Jane, then it's just nice and neat in the corner. It does fit quite well. I bought these trays at Michael's, and they have them in there, like, I forgot what they call them. There is a little section for them. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and be inspired by Tracy, and I'm going to stamp or staple my foam letters or foam words outside of the packaging so that they're accessible. And you know that usually what I do actually is that I cut a slit on the side, but this time I'm not going to. And I see that these are a little bit staggered, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to try and, I didn't want to staple on the beautiful polka dot because I might reuse that. Does it still fit in here? Yeah, it does. What am I trying to do, people? Yeah, so this is part of scrapbooking. This is still part of your creativeness and your creative flow and what you have to do to prepare yourself to be in the mood. I have an extra one of the letters. I'm just going to put it on the bottom with my extra stuff that I'm not going to go into right away. I also have the labels, which I'm excited to stamp on. So the labels are not the same. I don't want to staple them. So I'm going to go to my other technique, which is the opening of the side of the packaging. And I'm going to do that instead, which is still a really good technique. This comes obviously in an Avery Elle envelope, which is amazing. Yes, it is. And then open up my little heart paper clips, which are so darling. My goodness. And then the washi tape as well. And so basically what this does is, I didn't go through all of the die cuts yet, so I haven't been completely inspired. But basically what it does is it lets you get familiar with the products that you have, and it also makes them handy so that you're ready in the mood to use them. You know what I mean? I think you do. And I'm trying to find the opening to this washi tape. There it is. That's just fantastic. It's like the hearts are not perfectly perfect, but the shimmer on this is just perfectly perfect. All right, so that's step number 1. So now that's all done. I'm not going to cut into both pieces of paper because for this beautiful flower pattern, I know for sure that I want to fussy cut one of these. And don't worry, I'm not going to fussy cut while you guys watch, because that would be torture, and I understand that. But I'm already going to create my 8.5 by 11 backgrounds with this, and I believe that with my other piece of paper, on the flower one for sure, I will go ahead and fussy cut that. But when I get to it, because I don't want to have all these little pieces all over the place, I'm going to play with what I have so far. And now I know that I love this piece of paper as well. And where's the shadow coming from there? I feel so bad, I don't know. Should it come in a bit more? Yeah, there you go. It's live TV, people. I haven't said that in a while. But yeah, so I've noticed that this has its own pattern going on into the background. So I want to salvage that. So I will cut off just this little manufacturing strip first, and then I'm going to cut in and make this 11, if that makes sense. You're still with me. And then I'm going to come back and make this 8.5 because I love this pattern. As you can see, I love this kind of, you know, bullseye, wood grain. whatever you call it. Whatever you call it. So that's what I do. I look at the paper and I try to think, you know, what would I do? How do I want it to look? You know, what does it say to me? Does it speak to me? So same thing. I haven't done this in a little while where I'm saving that border on purpose, which now is going to force me, if I use this side, to cover up this one. But again, there's so many different ways that you can do that. So it's whatever you're feeling within your paper, right? Whatever you think that you want your paper to say or do for you, and that's what you do. This one is pretty simple. So if I really want to keep a larger piece of paper, what I do is come in at 8.5 and I cut that. So then I have a huge piece of paper to play with. And then I come back and I just do the 11 like that. And that already changes. Like, you already start to see what you've got. You start to be inspired by your paper. It's so much fun, right? And just the cutting of breaks that habit of hoarding. At least for me, it's huge. For me, it is a huge, huge thing. It's where I totally, you know, that's it. I'm cutting into it. I'm already into the mood. I'm already feeling like that's what I want to do. And so basically that's what I do. So I don't know how I want this paper to go. And now I have to decide, and taking one of these pieces of paper, I can see that I can completely cut off the yellow if I turn that into an 8.5 by 11. Or I can completely cut off the green. But I know that for me, I really like this look. And then I can come in with that. So that transforms that piece of paper into what I feel that I would like to use. And now the best part about so what I was trying to show you is that if you keep all of your little pieces and you're cutting them up in the same orientation, I already have a piece of paper here that fits nicely, right? And then even though the other pieces of paper are smaller, you can still, you know, layer like I see so many people doing, right? So you can already see how this layout comes about just by all of your little pieces. So again, it's just thinking. It's just working with what you have and thinking about, you know, what kind of layouts you want to do. Same with that. That is such a neat feature on there already. And I really, really like that. Right? So it saves me the work of having to, you know, go through all of that. Cut it like that. And it already gives me like a unique edge, which is something else that I really like, right? So now the paper looks like that. It's already got that border, so it already, you know, even if I want to go like this, even if I want to use it like that, I mean, it's the possibilities are endless. All right, so with these ones, I always save that delicious border strip with the scalloped edge. I've learned that from the other one. It is what it is. I like having those scallops that you can tuck in, especially with my last one. I was doing a hip kit layout and I was using a sketch and it did call for a scalloped border. And I was thinking about this paper and I thought, oh yeah, if I had that, it'd already be done for me, because I don't actually have a scallop punch, to be honest. This is just an awesome color. I love this green. So yeah, this is how I get my stuff started. This is how I kind of, you know, get my mojo going and how I kind of get into that groove where, so now you have a few choices. Like last time I took my dies and I started to punch out some dies and do some stuff, you know, with the Felicity Jane kit that I had before. And so basically this is what I have to work with now. So these are my patterned papers. I have a couple of them that I save the border, right? And that changes. And then I have most of them where it's just the same, right? It's the same as what you'd be using, except for this one. I completely changed what that looks like. And I love the way this one looks like too. So now that's where I'm at. And I did do, what I did last time was I did use my leftover paper. And because I love using my Felicity Jane stamps so much, and I would say that is the point, right? I believe that, you know, I should do a circle. I should do something with my circles. And I have a really good banner on this one too. This is a We Are Memory Keepers. I'm going to pull out this banner as well. I don't know how you guys store yours. I'm pretty sure there's neater ways and tidier ways. But I'm not going to lie to you, I don't really have a neater or tidier way to do this. I sort of just kind of free for all. And then in this one, that's my favorite as well, which is the Simon Says stamp, because it's all stitched dies. It's where I usually gravitate to all of them. And I even kept my other Spellbinder one that I have with that. I have my bow making one in here. I have my larger banner. I have my pinked circle, which is also such a cute one. And I have another tag one that's stitched, a baby one. Is that all that I have that I like? Yeah, that's all that I have. I'm going to put those ones back in there because I'm not going to use those. And I think that and I don't know where my little ones are, so just hang on. When you don't tidy up properly. I said I needed a secretary, but I also need like a scrapbook room made. So it's my little tags here. These are the ones that I always use to create my favorite tags. Create some tags. Yes. Yes. And that's it. So basically now, and again, I won't make you watch me do the whole thing. I just need my cutting plates. You just have to decide how you want to go about it. And basically what I think, and I keep saying the word basically, you have to forgive me, is that the neutral cardstock that comes in your kit is sometimes the best ones to use to do your tags and stuff like that, right? So all of your neutral toned ones will work with all the other colors as well, right? And so what I do is I try to get as much as I can off of one, and then I'm going to put it into my little bin like this, and then it's all together. So I won't make you watch it, and then I'll come back at the end and show you what I did. All right, so I did kind of fast forward through it, even though I said I wasn't going to record it, but I did. I just wanted you to see a little bit. And so basically this is all of my little scraps that I have left over. And one of the hearts that I tried to die cut didn't work out. And so I do have a Fisker's punch, right, that I do some more of the banner type or flag or whatever you want to call it. So all those scraps are going into my shredding bin, and in the die cut set there already are banners that are cut out, right? So I just thought it was very cute that, you know, with my own punches, right? So this one is from the Fisker's punch, and it's relatively the same size and the same looking kind of thing. So basically I just picked whatever patterned paper I really liked, and I punched out whatever I thought I wanted to do, right? I don't even know what my layouts are going to be, but basically right now, this is what I did. I just made a whole bunch of tags and a whole bunch of banners because banners never go out of style, right? You know that, I know that. Or even just to tuck them in behind somewhere, you're constantly seeing that. And so I really try to like purposely pick like where the pattern was meeting. And then some of these, this one is not. I mean, my stitch die ones, you have to kind of follow the rule. I don't know if there's a rule or if that's what I mean, but you know what I mean. Like there's a side. There's a good side and a bad side, even though you could flip it over. I saved this little tiny piece of paper just because I really like the scalloped edge, and you can always tuck those little bits in. Not that I want anyone to get, you know, hyper paranoid that you have to save every little bit. No, this is the two sides of that color, as you can see together. That really changes, you know, it looks amazing. And of course, everything matches, right? Everything in this kit will match. So yeah, I don't know what layouts I'm going to be creating, so that's honestly the truth, but I do know that I gravitate to these shapes the most right now, so it's my favorite thing. It's what I want to do. I think I need a few more labels, but I'll just wait and see what colors. These are the most neutral, plus they're the thin little borders that I used, right? So I don't have to like wonder like what am I going to do with that leftover piece of paper. And I know that you asked me, one of my viewers asked me, you know, what can they do? And I only did one pinked circle, but I love the way it looks. One of my viewers asked me, you know, what can I do, because I scrapbook with 12 by 12, so there isn't this leftover piece to play around with like I have. Like there isn't a leftover piece of paper, so this is basically what I'm down to now. So I'm glad that I got the extra sheet of patterned paper, or the add-on package, because now I can cut into that one a little bit more. Right, so I only have these little bits and pieces left to play with if this was the only patterned piece that I had purchased with my kit. So basically this is what I want to say, and then we're done, and then you can watch me do some video layouts and stuff like that, because I sound boring today. I don't know, my mojo's missing or something. Anyhow, 12 by 12 patterned paper, and that's going to be on my next one, because I'm going to create some vellum pockets and some tags to go, or I'm going to create some pockets to match these, and I'm going to use vellum so that you can see through them. And basically what I was going to say, because I keep digressing and you have to apologize, but I'm getting to that point, is that she asked, you know, I scrapbook with 12 by 12, and what I'm going to say is that that's where you can bring in your stash. So anything that's neutral, it's kind of the same thing that I just did right now with this kit. I'm picking very neutral colors to, you know, punch out tags and stuff like that. So you see predominantly I'm using, you know, the light blues and stuff like that. I didn't go for any harsh colors because one, I want to be able to stamp on them and stuff like that. Same thing, I mean, the Felicity Jane kit, it's got its own flavor, guys, so you know everything matches. But I didn't pick any of the like harsher maroons or anything like that. I kept it very soft and neutral. right? But I also picked what's my favorite too. I do gravitate to the greens and stuff like that. Just a little bit of touches of pink because I might do a monochromatic pink layout again because I really liked it. So you know that Felicity Jane sells those black and white add-on kits or add-on paper pack. It's her signature neutral line. You can do that within your own stash. I know we all have beige toned paper, we have ivory toned paper and white toned paper. So my suggestion was look at your die cuts or look at what you're working with predominantly and look at the color. Like, what is the base of that? Is it predominantly white? And then cut out your neutrals, your tags, and your bits and your pieces out of white, or a white-based pattern that has neutral tones to it. So, you know, grays and beiges and soft peaches and soft greens. Everything that's very soft tone will come to it. If it's a happy, very vibrant kit, then you can get away with vibrant, bright colors again, right? But if you want it to be accents, black and white is the way to go. It feels good right now. It's in the moment. It looks good with everything, right? Even the golds, you know, it'll all come in, and I'm putting that upside down. I realize that. Right? It'll all match. It'll all kind of have that flavor as long as you're working within your neutrals. So go through your pattern papers. It doesn't matter what company makes it or who's, you know, just go through them. That's what I did when I created my envelopes that I have, or my tag pockets. I just went through and found and gravitated to stuff that made me happy, that was neutral. Right? So everything that was just basic and everything that kind of goes with the tones. Again, I know it's difficult because, you know, you work with 12 by 12, so there's no leftover pieces, but I'm going to say that's kind of why I like gravitating to oh, there's a little baby heart. I have to be so careful. It's so cute. Yeah, I get distracted. That's why I love scrapbooking 8.5 by 11. It really was the style that I went to because I felt that I got so much more for the paper that I was purchasing, and then my layouts kind of all matched. So yeah, I'm not saying for you to change your 12 by 12 style by any means, but for me it was a game changer. And that's the honest truth. Yes, did I have to kind of change my albums and all that stuff? Yeah, but I just buy plain black binders from Walmart or Staples or whatever so that they all kind of look universal. To be honest, I don't really have them all displayed. They're kind of tucked away into a closet right now. I'm hoping to get some bookshelves that I can move them out and put them on display. But yeah, plain black binders is what I do, right? Unless I'm doing a mini album or something like that, where again, I still gravitate to neutral or whatever my home decor is. So yes, 12 by 12 is your style. So you've got two choices, right? Either you're buying double that paper, which I still did with this kit. So let's be honest, right? Number one. Number two, you're going through your stash, which is another thing that we really all want to get into. We really want to use up what we have. So go through your stash. Again, remember, is your tone or your base paper ivory or off-white, or is it plain white, or are there more gray tones? Gravitate to that, right? Use your eye, look at your paper, feel the paper, let it speak to you. Even if it doesn't match to me, it doesn't matter. It's not about what I think, it's about what you think. And then your scrapbooking session, your duty, your inspiration today is to take out all the lovely gadgets and tools that we've invested in, right? Again, so much money that we invest into to have all these things, and then play with your favorites at the moment, right? I still haven't done a butterfly layout. I have 1,001 butterfly dies. I mean, there's so many ways you could go. I did not use my stitch circle because I don't know if I'm going to do a layout like that, but I still have one in mind because I've always been inspired by Nicole Spur. She does cards, and I remember she did one where I always gravitate to the same layout where it's a circle, stitch circle with a stitch circle outline, and it looks phenomenal, what I learned from her. So yeah, there's so much that we have in our craft room, so many punches, so many things, so many dies that we collect, right? And you're seeing all of this new, the Spellbinder coming out, the new Sizzix cutting platform. There's so many. Of course, I still use my old tried, tested, and true Cuttlebug because it's not broken and it's great. So there's no need to, like, you know, go buy something new if you feel that you don't want to. It's up to you, but you can see it. You see it out there. So use your tools. Make that part of your scrapbooking, you know, routine. So as soon as you get a new paper pad, as soon as you get whatever it is that you're doing, cut into it, because as soon as you cut into it, it's broken in, it's done, it's ready for you. This is ready to be played with, right? This is ready to go right onto my pages and get me going, right? So half of the battle of what I want to tuck in there, if you feel that one embellishment pack isn't enough, even though again, I spoiled myself this month, I got 2 just because I love it. I loved all the gold details and stuff like that. It was just so darling, so beautiful to me. But if you don't, and if you can't, or if all you're working with is a piece of paper, you can emboss these. You can emboss it and, you know, do your stuff. We've got all of it. I've got an embossing gun. I've got embossing powder. I've got embossing folders. We've got the tools to create this kind of beauty, right? Like I created my own tags here. This is an Amy Tan tag. And look, right? It's going to match. You won't know once it's in my album. The people looking at my album won't know that this came with the kit and this didn't, right? Because it's all going to match together. So, as I digress, I think I found my yapping voice at the end of this whole thing. I hope you're still with me. Be inspired. Be inspired. Be inspired to use what you already have. Be inspired by watching me work with these kits, yes, but also translate to you that I still take time. I still make time to play with the items that I have in my scrapbook room first before I get into the layout. And sometimes that creates a roadblock for us too, right? We have all the stuff comes in the kit, and we don't know where to start, and we don't know what's gonna look good, and we don't know what we're doing. So first, get comfortable with your papers, cut them up, get already, you know, exposed to whether you like, you know, a manufacturing strip or not, if it's worth keeping. If it's not, it doesn't matter. Throw away your little pieces, create a little, you know, bucket, a little sippy cup, a little plastic takeout container. It does not have to be fancy. Put all your little bits and pieces in there. Prepare all of your stuff. Get all your paper cut up the way you like to see it in the, you know, in the format, the layout, the horizontal landscape, whatever it is that you think you want to do, right? And then let the paper speak to you. Let your heart be inspired and just work with what you feel that you want to, right? Where's that awesome floral? See? So neutral, so beautiful, so much fun. Okay guys, big hugs, big hugs. If nothing else, you know, be inspired. Make time for this hobby because it's so much fun and this hobby heals. Thank you so much for your comments. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed already, I don't say this, I just wanted to let you know, if you're not on my schedule yet, it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, right? So if you don't want to miss any of what I'm doing and what's coming up, I know for December, if I can say, because I think I'm going to sneak this little video in somewhere before that, I have ordered the Joy kit from Felicity Jane that comes with a nice little album and stuff like that. I'm not going to really say it's going to be a December daily because I don't think I can do it daily with, you know, workflow and stuff like that. But I will be documenting all of my December photographs in black and white into that album because I'm so super excited for it. So again, be inspired. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you very, very soon.